Listen up, everyone. Have you ever heard of disruptive innovation? This concept, introduced in the mid-1990s by economists Clayton Christensen and Joseph L. Bauer, refers to technological innovations that start unnoticed and cheap but eventually turn markets upside down, creating new commercial values while destroying old ones. A great example? On June 6, 2005, Apple's founder Steve Jobs announced that Apple would switch to Intel chips for its Macintosh computers. This was a huge win for Intel, a dominant force in the global computer chip market. Around the same time, Apple was secretly working on the first iPhone, and Jobs needed a powerful new chip. When Jobs asked Intel to create it, they refused, convinced the smartphone market wouldn't be profitable. Intel's decision to focus on computers and dismiss mobile phones as unimportant would prove disastrous. Today there are 1.46 billion iPhones globally, and the smartphone market is valued at $500 billion. This is a classic case of disruptive innovation. The iPhone and other smartphones created a new market based on low-power chips that revolutionized mobile computing. Intel missed this massive opportunity and has paid the price, including laying off 12,000 employees in 2016. Fast forward to 2024, and Intel is facing a crisis. Their second quarter earnings report is described as the worst in the company's history, leading to a 26% drop in stock value and wiping out $32 billion from its market cap. Intel, once a giant in the tech industry, is now struggling through its worst days, with the possibility of dismantling looming large. So, how did Intel reach this point? The company made several poor decisions, starting with its failure to capitalize on the smartphone revolution. It also missed the boat on artificial intelligence, a growing goldmine for semiconductor companies. While competitors like Nvidia and AMD thrived, Intel continued to stumble, leading to a 30% decline in revenue since 2021 and the need to cut 15% of its workforce. Even with government support, like President Biden's $20 billion CHIPS Act initiative, Intel's future remains uncertain. This law aims to boost U.S. semiconductor manufacturing, but Intel faces fierce competition from companies in East Asia, which currently produce 90% of the world's semiconductors. In a last-ditch effort to regain dominance, Intel is considering drastic steps, including selling off key subsidiaries or dismantling parts of the company. The situation is so dire that Intel is relying heavily on U.S. government support to stay afloat. But even with this aid, it's unclear if they can reclaim their former glory. In conclusion, Intel's struggles are a stark reminder of what happens when companies fail to adapt to disruptive innovations. The question now is whether Intel can turn things around or if its best days are behind it. Do you think Intel can recover and become a leader in the U.S. tech war against China?